Rise and grind, ladies and gentlemen. It is 8:30 in the morning. We are on our way to the auction site to be able to finally see cars in person, because before this, I was only going off the pictures or videos or anything else that they posted. So this is the first time I'm actually gonna be at the auction sites, test driving the cars, seeing if they start, seeing if they have any check engine lights, and then we're gonna head back home and then bid on them online because they're not doing the bidding at the same day. But super excited. Never seen so many cars in one place that I can potentially buy. So we're gonna go take a look. We have a potential of 10 cars that I'm interested in, hopefully winning one or two. We've been doing pretty good with these auction cars, and it's a little bit easier than trying to negotiate someone down through person to person. We're gonna go to the auction now, look at some cars. I'm Macho. This is Macho Motors. Let's get her done. So we made it to the junkyard. I mean, the public auction. We have trucks, other trucks. We have a fire truck. We're looking today, hopefully finding something worth flipping. I will say we've been here for about an hour and it's looking pretty rough. We got some potential winners, but overall, everything is pretty close to junk. It's so weird to look at cars because there's so many of them and I have to be in and out and try to go fast with everything. You got to make your best judgment in like 5 minutes versus, I don't know, an hour or 30 minutes or whatever to really thoroughly look over a car. I can't take 30 minutes on each car because that'll take forever. So I brought my jumper for the cars, but this one started right up. Interior looks pretty clean overall. On the listing online, it said it had mechanical issues. 110,000 miles, 2004 Jeep Liberty. Sounds smooth. Cylinder 2 misfire, but it doesn't sound like it's misfiring. Throttle response is a little funny. This one's seeming like a winner. We're checking the AC. The AC seems like it's working. We drove it forward and backwards, so this might be one that we're bidding on. We just pulled up to the auction site to pick up what we won last week. We're all mic'd up today. See how the audio sounds with this now. And yeah. Oh, I see my truck. Is that my truck? I think that's my truck. And here she is. I believe it's that one there. I don't remember seeing all these stickers on it, but I don't know. We'll see. A lot of people are picking up all their toys. There's someone who bought this huge thing over here, surprisingly. Alright, I let you guys suffer through bad audio for long enough, so I'm coming in to rescue with the voiceover. Here is the truck that we picked up, a 2009 Chevy Silverado 1500 work truck. Overall, the body's in pretty good condition, minus the rust spot right here around the truck bed. It's on both sides, unfortunately, but I got a way to fix it. And here, this Honda Accord surprisingly sold for around $400 with a bad title. And I was surprised with the Jeep Liberties because they sold for $1,000 each after fees and everything. You know, these things are worth around $1,500, so that's surprising. All right, we got the title in hand, jumper in hand. We're gonna see if we can start up this Chevy Silverado. I believe the keys are already in the ignition. At least that's what they told me. Yep. And looks like the battery's completely dead, which I expected. And we are off for the first test drive with the Chevy Silverado. Super excited. I do know that the truck does have a check engine light. When I checked it, it was for a misfire. The truck is not running like it has a misfire, so we are going to send it, see how she runs. We're enjoying the victory today with some well-deserved breakfast. Truck is driving great. Drove her for about 20 minutes. There's no sputtering, no weird shifting. The AC heat, radio all works. The car wasn't overheating. The trans temp was good. So I think the next thing we're gonna do for it is just do a full tune-up. I'm gonna enjoy breakfast. See you in a second. Just finished up breakfast. Let's see if old girl starts without a jump. Beautiful. All right, let's finish this drive up home and start getting to work on her. I know this is a weird angle, but mostly doing this so I could keep both hands on the steering wheel. But she's running great, driving great. I can floor it, and it shifts smooth. Everything is very smooth with it. I have no complaints. The only issue that we're really having is the check engine lights. All in, we have $4,480 after all the fees. Kelly Blue Book and Carfax is saying that the truck is worth over $9,000.
It's over 9,000!
Potentially big flip. So we got back home with the Chevy Silverado. It drove great back home, and it was a very smooth drive. We still have the check engine light that we're going to look a little bit deeper into to kind of diagnose and see what that is. And I already ordered tons of parts like this broken mirror here, fender flares to cover up the rear and treat it. While we wait for parts, we're going to work on removing some stickers on it because that's all we can kind of do right now. I got my heat gun in hand, my long extension cords there, and we're going to get to work. So the best way I know to do lettering that comes off easily, I don't know how this is about to come off, but usually a heat gun and like a credit card to kind of lift up the edge does a good job at removing it. If you know any better ideas, let me know. I'm happy to hear it, but this is what I've been doing and this is what works best for me. So I timed myself doing this other side. It ended up taking me 15 minutes and 30 seconds. So 30 minutes to take off all the stickers. Completely improves the look of the truck, especially once we polish it and make it look all one color again. And here's how we're looking. We got a new passenger light and a new oil filter that is about to go in right now. Let's get to work. I never use ramps on a truck. It looks a little sketchy, but it's holding pretty well. Looks safe-ish to do an oil change. I really like doing oil changes on trucks because you just have so much space underneath. Easy to get leverage. Come on, my finger's stuck. Ooh, no mess. But that oil's looking a little dirty, not crazy bad. We're gonna let this all drain out and then move over to the oil filter. We got most of the oil out. I'm gonna go ahead and put in the drain plug back in. We got the oil filter wrench on the oil filter. Broke it loose, easy peasy. Should be able to, there we go, spin it off by hand. We got our high quality frame filter going in. We are back from the parts store with hopefully the right oil filter because the last one wasn't fitting and now this one is fitting easy peasy. Even though everywhere I read said it was the correct one, but apparently not. But that fits beautifully. We're gonna tighten that up a little bit more. Let's add oil and be done with this job. Well, it's another issue for another time. We got 4.5 quarts of 5W30 going in. Aim it into the hole and boom, no mess. All right, so we topped off the oil, but we still got to fix the change engine oil soon. So it said ignition in the on position, press my foot on the gas, turn the car on, and then I think it's gone. That was a really weird process, but it worked. So we no longer have change oil light there. Still got the check engine light, which we need to fix, but one step at a time. Making good progress on the truck fairly quickly. We already got the oil change and the letters off. Moving over to this mirror. Gonna pop this one off and pop the new one on. So really quickly, there's this piece here. It popped off with the 3 clips that was behind it. And then behind there, it was this little foam insert. Just pulled that out. And now we have 1, 2, 3 bolts right there. Got my little ratchet right here. Gonna take these three bolts off, pull off the old one, pop in the new one, and we're good to go. This is always the nerve-wracking part. Really don't want to drop this down there, because if we do, we got to take off the whole door. So I got a little magnet right underneath it while I turn it. Oh, and we got it. We got all three bolts out without dropping it. Pull this mirror out. Should just be a simple yank. Full persuasion. Come on. Oh, whoa. Dang, I literally fell. We're on the ground, but we did get the mirror off. Just bought this passenger mirror, and it is so far off. Even though said it would be an exact fit. So that's annoying. Got the new mirror in, a little satisfaction for y'all. Beautiful, once again. No cracks like it had before. Looking good. I was finally able to pull up the codes for the check engine light. It had 19 codes, so I just cleared them all out and started fresh. And what came back was a check engine light for a P0050, which is an O2 sensor, and it had 5 codes all related to the O2 sensor. So that could be related to our misfire. We are currently underneath the car right now because the O2 sensor code came back immediately, which is good for us because that's usually a sign that something isn't plugged in or a wiring is frayed. So I'm going to check all the O2 sensors. Right now, these wires look good on this side, and we're going to check the other side. Found all this water here around this exhaust clamp, and I'm able to move it, which means that this is loose, but it is bolted all the way down, like it's tightened all the way. So there might be something wrong with this clamp causing our O2 sensor issue. We still ordered new ones, so we'll see if that helps, but this is still a big culprit as to why we have that check engine light. All right, so there's the Bank 2 sensor 1 that we got to take out. Honestly, it is buried deep in there, so I'm not really going to record much. I just want to get this out of here. We got the nice new shiny Denso O2 sensor back in. Got it all routed up correctly. I did fix this pipe. Now there's no longer an exhaust leak. All I did was remove it, push this in a little bit better, and then tighten up the bolt, and now it's no longer loose. The clamp isn't moving. So now this exhaust leak is fixed as well. After the new O2 sensor, throttle response is so much better. It used to hang out for a few seconds before dropping. Now it immediately goes down. So I've been driving the truck for about 5 minutes. No check engine light has popped up, which is awesome because usually it would pop right back up even after I just cleared it, which has improved the ride quality by a lot. So now the truck is running phenomenally without the check engine light. It's running smooth, no misfire, no nothing. And now we're gonna get our pressure washer out, start getting to work and cleaning her. I wanted to address all of this. So we got the pressure washer out, going to work. The fronts have fender liners, so they're not as bad, but still gonna be just as satisfying. I have this rust reformer here. I'm gonna spray this over the rust area just to help neutralize it. This is a package I've been pretty excited for because this is gonna turn the truck from a $4,000 truck up to maybe even a $6,000 truck. And that is brand new fender flares to help cover up that rust. It was $120 for this. And the quality of it seems really, really good, especially with all the hardware. So we'll see how the fitment is. Pretty excited because once we're all done, it should go from looking like this to looking like something like that. It's going to be a huge improvement, very well worth the investment. So I spray painted the rust white just to help slow down the process. But at the end of the day, it's rust, and she gonna rust if she wants to rust. Ooh, that looks so much better. Still got 1, 2 here, 1, 2 there, and that should be relatively easy. Here's a little bit of a closer look at what I'm doing. So there's 1 hole there, 1 hole there. Got my permanent marker. So I push the fender on. I get this little clip, Slide it right over our mark. Good. Line up the screw it in, and then you're all done. Simple. The before, obviously we spray painted, but here is the after. Ooh, looking pretty darn good. Well worth the money. So we are moving on to the trunk bed because it is super dirty. Obviously, it was a work truck, so it was used for work. So we're just gonna clean this out while we have the pressure washer out and get to work. You've seen me do this before, so let's just get into it. I have surely outdone myself. Look how pretty this thing came out. This is about a $9,000 truck if I've ever seen it. We still got spots like this to address, like that one. Look at this spot right here. All I got is this pad with some scratch remover on it. And just like that, ready, watch the magic. Wow, magic. And it's gone. Just like that, it's all gone. From that to this in seconds. These are the little things that is going to get your car an extra $500, $600 by just putting in this tiny bit of effort. Look, there's another spot right here. Look, seconds of work. Gone. Gone. And we just cleaned the car, but this is still here. Gone. We are using this back to black color restorer on the front bumper. I've never used it before, so we'll give it a shot. Not a crazy difference, but it definitely looks better from that gray to this black. But usually these back to black restorers don't really last very long, so we'll see how long this lasts. So the last thing that we got to do to finish up the truck is clean out the interior. Overall, it's not too bad, but I really enjoy cleaning truck interiors because it's super easy and super satisfying. And we have our helper here today gonna help out vacuuming the interior, so let's get it done. So we just finished up vacuuming the interior. Everything came out pretty good overall. This is the part that I love when it comes to cleaning truck interiors. So you're gonna get any random cleaner. I'm not a huge fan of Armor All, but best believe if they sponsor me, I will fall in love with Armor All. So you're gonna get any spray cleaner that you like, a drill brush, and a rag that you really don't care about, and go to town on this bad boy. So what you're gonna do is get your cleaner. We're gonna spray it everywhere, all over the floor and trims and everything. Make sure you fully saturate it. Get your drill brush. Get your rag. You can see how dirty that floor was. All right, so here is the before. We haven't touched this side, and then the after. And this is how it should come out, nice and clean, very easy. Took me maybe a minute to do this one side. All right, so we cleaned this side about 3 or 4 times. This is the best it's gonna get. But the rest of the interior came out really nice. It looks better in person. On camera, it makes it look dirtier than it really is. But we are all done with this truck now. She is ready for sale. But yeah, AC works, heat works. There's no check engine lights. Runs and drives good. No shaking, no misfiring. Everything is working beautifully. So we're gonna put her up for sale. I'm going to aim high at 9,000 and see what happens. So we are here at the photo shoot location. This one came out super clean. I think our big selling point is going to be the little top camper thing, because we do have the keys for it, which a lot of people do like. Our biggest defect is this spot right here. It's looking not the best, but nothing we can really do about that spot. It is looking way better than I was expecting. This is actually a clean truck. Like, look at that. Thumbnail. I don't really know the market of Chevy Silverados too well. All the other sedans I do know pretty well about, but trucks, the market is so weird. Sometimes you can list a truck for 8,000, it'll sell in a day, sometimes 2,000, and it takes months. So it all depends, but this one is looking really good. So we're gonna try to get all the money for her. Okay, I'm a little bit under the weather, but we are on our way with the Chevy Silverado to take it to someone so that way their mechanic can see it. Honestly, I don't like doing this because if they end up not liking the car or whatever, then I just drove all this time for no reason. So typically I tell them, hey, if you want to bring your mechanic, you're more than welcome for him to inspect it, test drive it, do whatever. But right now we're driving the car to his mechanic because he's the only one interested in the truck right now for a price that I'm happy with. So we'll see if we sell it, but this guy was a little bit of a... But on the plus side, the truck is driving beautifully. No check engine lights anymore. No misfires, no nothing crazy. So it's driving really smooth. I'm pretty confident once the mechanic sees it, he'll be happy with it. I did say it still needs brakes because the brakes are fine, but just from sitting, I'm pretty sure it needs the rotors resurfaced. But I just say brakes to tell him to do the entire brake, because for the price that we agreed on, I'm not doing the brakes. I don't care. You already lowball me. You already want me to take it to your mechanic, and you know, I'm not gonna do brakes on top of that. So the only issue is the brakes. Don't want to show off the company name, but just like that, the Chevy Silverado has sold. All done with her. And we are back with another price breakdown for the Chevy Silverado. It's getting a little colder, so it's truck season. I thought it was going to sell faster. Honestly, I had absolute zero interest on the truck until a company hit me up saying, hey, one of our trucks just got into an accident. We need something to replace it. I had my truck for sale, so they were interested, and we were able to sell it to the only person that was interested in the truck. But luckily, we made some profit, so let's get into the numbers and find out. So we were the winning bid for the truck at $4,050, but after all the fees, taxes, everything, it came out to be $4,833. We did the oil and oil change. That was $5. Once again, I buy oil in bulk. It's hard to really price it out to figure out what it is. I just don't feel like doing the math. The cracked mirror was $50 that we replaced. The fender flare was $124. And then the O2 sensors we replaced. We tried to find, as good of a brand as you possibly can. That was $90. I will not cheap out on O2 sensors because at the end of the day, they will make them run worse. And tell me how I know. Because I've done it before, I've tried, and it makes you chase issues that you didn't even have prior to that. So if you're going to buy O2 sensors, just go out, buy the $50, $100 one, whatever it is, it's going to be worth it. So total all-in cost for the car was $5,102 after everything. We ended up selling it for $6,900, which not too bad in my opinion. Kelly Blue Book says is worth over $8,000, but I was just happy to make some sort of profit off of it. And we ended up making a profit of $1,798. That's not bad of a flip. And this is why I consider that Toyota Highlander video a little bit of a loss, because all the effort, the risk you're taking by buying a car and possibly, the transmission blowing in the next 5 minutes or something, it's a big risk just to make $200 versus this, we made almost $2,000. So this was a huge win in my book. I'm really happy with the flip. I thought it was going to sell for a little bit more. With us going into trucking season, it's getting colder. People need 4x4s and business work cars. But at the end of the day, we did make a win. Thank you so much for watching. If you want, leave a comment down below on your opinion on this flip. I do read almost all of my comments, and I try to reply to all of them. And once again, I'm thankful for the growth that I've had with all the new subscribers. So if you want to join along the Macho Motors journey, don't forget to subscribe down below for more Macho Motor flips. Stay tuned.